There it is. Plat 1 to Diamond. Hey everyone, Silverfuse here, and I just got Diamond on the Legends of Runeterra Ladder, and I wanted to give you some tips on things that I think about and ways to help you climb in Legends of Runeterra. I started my climb from Plat 4 to Plat 1 last night. I streamed it. It was about 6.5 hours long, so if you're interested in that stream, it is on twitch.tv/Silverfuse. I was playing mid-range Demacia at the time. For playing from Plat 1 to Diamond 4, I went ahead and used Corina Control just because I was seeing so much Burn Aggro, and Corina Control is a much favored matchup against the Burn Control. So this is the VOD that I'm going to be going over my different thoughts and what I was thinking about at the time. I made a couple misplays that I'm not super proud of, but I was able to pull out the game, and my last game ended up being, it just went really my way, so that was nice too. So generally whenever I play against someone, the first thing I will usually do is I check to see what's in their deck. I try to see what champs they're playing. In this case I actually forgot. Part of the reason is because it's 2 AM and I was kind of tired, and I've seen so much Burn Aggro I just assumed it was no champions. This one did have Jinx, but generally I look at the colors and I think about the key cards and what their win condition is. So in this case, I know that they're going to be aggressive, so I'm thinking about 1s and 2 drops essentially. Those are going to be a lot of their key cards. So I want to make sure that I mulligan for pretty low cost and heal, because they're going to be very aggressive against me. I didn't really need 2 Mystic Shots here, so I pretty quickly decide I want to take that away. I get the Elise as my low cost, and then I have my heal right there, so that's also very nice as the, oh, it's gonna still have this line down here, so I'm sorry about that. But the Withering Wail is also a very good keep in this case. I have to let this damage go by, which sucks a little bit, but I get to develop Elise here, and that is very good for me because I can start actually doing something. If I didn't have anything, it'd be much tougher, and then on top of that, I have the second Elise, which is pretty nice. They play this, and I decide not to attack into it because Elise makes the token, and this could block it and get free damage on it. Although, in some ways, there is an argument for still making that because of the Mystic Shot in hand, and I kind of think that maybe I should have made that. So here I go ahead and take this block, and that's fine. But I think I probably should have attacked with the Elise, like, looking back at this, because, like I said, the Mystic Shot's pretty good. Into that. And then I Mystic Shot here early, and my reasoning behind this is, like, I know this looks very weird. It's going to get the damage in anyway, but the idea is that I'm going to Withering Wail that in the future, so that was why I didn't want to waste mana, so that's, I'm even like covering it, because I knew I was going to do this for YouTube, but I was like trying not to, like I still wanted to be focused at the same time, so it's just kind of awkward overall. So here I stopped their attack with the Skitter, and that is obviously very helpful because they do less damage, and I think I end up attacking with a 3-2, or I just say end it because they have 4 mana here. Like, they're the aggro deck. They have to come to me. So if they want to waste 4 mana, I'll let them waste the 4 mana. I don't care about the attack that much. And see, they even had like that 1 drop, and then I say, haha, I have another Skitter. Like I said, these games kind of went my way. There is a play in this game later that I'm pretty proud of, so I'll talk about that one. That happens in a few turns, I think. But I'm not in the greatest spot ever because those cards are scary. See, and this is a case where Mystic Shot would have been really good, or at least better. And that's just how it works, but I got these spiders here, and this is nice. This game was a very interesting game. You probably are wondering even, I don't know, maybe even how I won it, because it looks very odd. I'll give you a hint. I don't use Ruination at all. But yeah, that's me hovering on the spiders. I'll see we skipped this part because they were taking a bit to accept it. Help us out a bit. So here I'm going to level up Elise, and they obviously don't want me to do that because I'm just going to be able to hook everything, and they do destroy my Elise here, but I do have another Elise in hand, so sucks to be them, but alright for us obviously. And I can't remember if I attack here. I think I do. Pretty sure I just open attack because I need to get the damage in. And the 2-3 blocking 1-2-1 is okay with us because we have Withering Wail. Oh, I pass it. Okay. Well, in some ways that makes sense though. feel like the attack there would have been fine as well. But this is huge here because they played it on the 2-3. I have gotcha, and I get to counter this completely. I get to kill a unit, and they don't get to do 2 damage to me, and I was pretty happy with this. That was really smart of my opponent, though, heads up, not to put it on this, because I knew if it was countered by Mystic Shot, it could be countered by Mystic Shot really easily. But the gotcha is a lot less unlikely, so my opponent's play there was super good. Like, that was a very smart play on their part, and they just got unlucky that I top decked the gotcha. So here I'm just attacking with everything except for Elise, and I don't attack with Elise because she makes a little 1/1 spider token, and the 2/2 could block it and do 2 damage to me, and that gives me 1 damage off lethal, or yeah, being 1 off of lethal. Still looking at this game, it's still pretty crazy that I won it. I think this next play is my really good play, but we'll see. And you can see that I'm kind of using the spiders to come back into this game. I haven't really healed much. You know, even Vile Feast. Even Vile Feast is a very good card in this matchup, by the way. If you get Vile Feast, it's pretty ideal. So, yeah, this is... I saw that thing and I was pretty scared at this point. I thought about Ruination, but if they play anything that has 3 attack, then I automatically lose. So I don't want to do that. Like, if their hand... anything that has 3 attack in their hand, I just automatically lose. So I have to ignore that. And it's not. So at this point, I die from that. So I actually use the Atrocity. And this is the play I'm proud of because I think people forget that Atrocity can also attack creatures. So I kill off that to make sure it does the 4 attack. And that was huge. That was a huge turning point of the game. I felt pretty good after that because Mystic Shot doesn't kill me. Only really get excited and decimate. And I knew if they don't, also too, my opponent was still good in this game too, because they knew that if they don't attack, then I just open attack and I win. So they attack here, and it's very smart of them to do so. My opponent played this game very well. They were just against a deck that counters them pretty hard. Counters them hard. So they played this very well, and I'm just like making sure. I'm a bit tired here at this point, so I'm like, just gotta save Elise, and they don't have any mana. Alright. Like, I had to just double check it there. All good. But yeah, you saw me do that a bit slower than if I was awake, because I'm a bit tired right now. And then I open attack with Elise here, because she can't be messed with, essentially. I mean, I don't draw anything that great if I remember. Yeah, Static Shock really isn't the answer. So I'm getting them low, I have the Withering Wail, and some interesting decisions come up after this. Like, this is still an incredibly close game. I don't play Withering Wail at all, because if they top deck, or I guess, maybe I should have played Withering Wail there. Yeah, I probably should have played it, because they can't play Decimate in response to it, but it just felt really safe at the time. So I probably should have played the Withering Wail, and I actually do it now. At this point, I still am worried about the idea that if I play Ruination, then they play something with 3 attack and I lose. It's very unlikely they would be holding a creature like that. So I think about using like a Static Shock here. Like, I'm trying to figure out a way where I don't lose my Elise. At this point, I noticed what I should have noticed the last turn, is that I'm safe to play Withering Wail because Decimate can't be played and Get Excited can't be played. I can't even remember what they had in their hand last. So it's just me healing up. Ideally, if I had played this last time, then I could play Thermo Beam right now instead of the Withering, and I could save. And I'm like, wait, I don't have 8 mana here. I was a bit sad, my poor Elise. But yeah, that was a pretty big misplay last time, not realizing that I could play the Withering Wail safely. I was kind of trying to use it as a surprise thing, but I should have played it. And that made it where I couldn't Thermo Beam Jinx safely here. So I could have done it earlier before this part, and that would have been nice. So that was a pretty big misplay on my part. Thankfully, I didn't get punished for it, so that was nice. And then I play Corina, and obviously I'm great at this game, so I hit all 5, and it's not even a question. There you go. So yeah, that was a pretty nice top deck. The Static Shocks probably kept me safe for quite a while, but no creatures was really scary if I didn't draw that Corina, so it was great that we got her. This game, quite honestly, my opponent might have been a little bit tired like I was because they made some weird decisions, or at least so I thought. So any kind of like criticism I have isn't like saying that my opponent's a bad player or anything like that. It's just, I just would make a different play. So keep that in mind, that it's nothing ever against the player, it's just like my thought of what I would do in that situation. There's obviously different play styles and people do different things. Oh, I should look at the mulligan though, so like we gotta go back to the checklist. What did I do? Alright, so back to the checklist. We see we're against a mirror matchup, and in this case, Vi is very good in the mirror matchup, so I'm very happy to see her. Things that matter here, Thermo Beam to kill their Vi, our Vi obviously, and then I'm okay in the mirror with holding on to Ladros, because Ladros determines games really, really hard in the mirror. And then other things you can think like Elise is very good in the mirror. I kept the Vile Feast. Like these, I'm just not getting too greedy. I could have mulliganed a bit harder, but Elise is fantastic in the mirror. At the beginning of this, they got their Elise, and I was pretty scared that I was going to lose. Because if you get Elise to pop off with the spiderlings and stuff, you're in a really good spot. But I had 2 Vi's here, and I was feeling pretty good about it. And then you can see why Thermo Beam is really good right now. I'd be able to kill the Elise. That's why you generally keep Thermo Beam in the mirror, I would say. It just has such great targets. And, I mean, if you top that Gotcha too, that's pretty sweet. But Thermo Beam's the typical one. I got my Elise here, and I was very happy about it. So I'm pretty sure that I play her. I don't play the Skitter because Elise just allows me to, you know, make tokens and just control the board a bit better. If I play Brood Awakening, she's just much more of a threat. And then on top of that, I mean, this can't block Fearsome anyway, so it makes sense to play this with Fearsome. So it's like, there's really no point in playing the Skitter because they'll be playing their Brood Awakening and I get a lot more value out of Skitter later. And here I think about playing the Gotcha to kill this, but I was worried about Glimpse Beyond at the time, and that was my reason not to. And I think I'm okay with that play. There's definitely reasons not to, but they played around Mystic Shot here, that's why they blocked with the 1-1, but that ended up being really good for me because I didn't have Mystic Shot, I had Gotcha in my hand. So that was super, super helpful that I got that just worked out really well for me. But they were playing around Mystic Shot, not Gotcha, so it was kind of unfortunate for them. So here, my opponent is pausing for a bit, so I think Glimpse Beyond. And that's definitely what they have to have in their hand here that they're thinking about. They ended up not doing that and then using resources to kill my Elise instead. So there's me looking at my own Glimpse because I'm like, they definitely have Glimpse. And they put it back. So that is an important part of hand reading, is that if they're even thinking about it, it's gotta be Glimpse in that case. Like, there's not too many other things it can be. They use a Mystic Shot. Mystic Shot in the mirror matchup is one of the most important things that you can have. It is very, very, very important, and they use a Vile Feast. So here, they've used 2 resources to kill my 1 Elise. They only have 4 cards now. I have a, like, teeny tiny bit of a card advantage, but not by much. But for me, that was great. I also see the Thermo Beam now, and that's nice. They pass, and I could definitely take the pass there because my hand is pretty good. But I go ahead and take the Vile Feast here because I want to get my Vi's bigger. And there's the Glimpse, which I kind of knew was going to happen anyway, but it's not like the worst thing ever. I definitely could have taken the pass there, and that might have been correct, but I get the Glimpse out. I mean, I gotta save some mana too. Really, it's kind of eh for both of us, and I'm happy to get my Vi out now. They might just Thermo Beam it, which if I remember right, they do. That's why Thermo Beam is so good in this part, is because they Thermo Beam though, and then I have enough for Glimpse, and I just Glimpse back. So I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I'm gonna skip that forward a little bit. Exactly what happens, they play Thermo Beam for 7, I play Glimpse for 2, and we just have another wash again. Thankfully, I have another Vi, and yeah, having the other Vi is very, very good. Like I said, I feel like I generally drew better than my opponent in this match, so I'm going to pass this. They play Brood Awakening. That's why Withering Wail is pretty good to keep in this mirror matchup too. I would say in the opening hand, I would consider that Brood Awakening and Withering Wail both good. Remember how we talked about the Skitter earlier, that I didn't want to play it against the Elise because it could get more value? Here is a great example where it just gets more value. So I play that, and I play my Vial of Feast as well, and that allows me just to, I mean, it's a wash, essentially. They're left with the 1-1. I would say this puts me a little bit ahead just because I have the Skitter. I don't play Thermo Beam there because there are better things to Thermo Beam, but there might have been better reasoning to do it, because I want Vi to be leveled up all the way, so I could have played Thermo Beam, then played Vi, which would make sense because I want her to be at 10 attack, and what happens here is kind of funny. I ended up having to Thermo Beam the spider anyway, because I wanted Vi at 10. I really just want to put the pressure on them. They could technically Thermo Beam me back, but I was willing to take that risk since they already played one Thermo Beam anyway, and also too, I'm hovering there because I was reminding myself to talk about the fact that I saw that they have no Vengeance, because once they go down to 6 mana, I know that they have no Vengeance, and that's when I was even more okay with making that play. So I was thinking they don't have answers, and unfortunately they countered me with Skitter because Vi isn't striking for 10, even though she technically has 10 attack, so she doesn't get a level up there. It was a really good play by my opponent there. And we'll see what happens after. I think this is where I just kind of start pulling ahead with Ladros. So they say in the round. I'm like, yeah, I'll in the round. So ideally here is I attack. If they play Vengeance, I play Ladros. I mean, if they do anything to really do anything against Vi, I get to play Ladros after for free, and my tempo's not lost. And that doesn't kill it. I don't know if they had another answer there or what exactly happened, but I got a level up Vi. I think they might have made a mistake there because later they play a Grasp not too much longer, and that was a pretty big mistake on their part. I didn't play Ladros first just because I didn't want them to play a blocker for Vi, in case you're wondering why did I open attack. It's because I had a 10-2, and if they play Vengeance, then the Ladros gets to do more stuff. So play the Ladros here. And then they play another Grasp, so I think they just made a mistake because of the armor. It happens. It was like 2 AM at night. It's like 2:40 right now as I record this. So it could even be later or slightly earlier for them depending on their time zone, but it's understandable to just kind of make those mistakes. It happens. Or they had another thought that I don't know what the thought was. Who knows? Got another leveled up Vi here. I also have Vengeance, so I'm feeling pretty good here. I have, you know, 17 health, they have 5 health. They're just like one step behind me at this point. I have a way to block this Elise. I'm just kind of just sitting here, happy with myself, feeling pretty confident about to get Diamond. And they play this Ladros thing, they have 1 mana left, so I'm like, alright, it's free to do what I want. I think here I probably should have played the Gotcha. I think I should have played Gotcha there for sure. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. I must have been thinking of something, but I should have played Gotcha beforehand. I think I was thinking of like faking having Mystic Shot essentially, but I don't know. There's no point of faking that. It's hard to say what 2 AM Silver was thinking about because I'm always a little bit off at this time. So yeah, I'm like looking, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good here. And I attack with this first. And the idea is if they block and play Vengeance, I do one thing, and then I can play Static Shock or Corina, most likely Corina, because they don't have too much they can do here. They could technically play like Get Excited, Mystic Shot. That is a win condition for them there. So that is, I don't even remember if I played around that here or not. No, I mean, I kind of did. I have Withering Wail, so what am I saying? I did by attacking first. So that is something important to note, because I can just do crazy things with Corina. I don't run the Get Excited and stuff just because I feel like it ends up hurting me more than helping me. But there it is. Plat 1 to Diamond, and I kind of told you some of my thought process. I know that I usually play the game and explain what's going on, but it's kind of fun to look back and see what it, like exactly what I was doing, pick out some of my mistakes. As I know, this video is a little bit different than my typical videos, and I hope that you do enjoy this and that you learn something. I know that generally you probably prefer me talking about the plays as they're happening, but I thought it'd be a little bit fun to check out my Plat to Diamond games, those two, and just explain what was going on. I hope some people found them helpful, and if you want me to do more of those, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm, and I hope to see you for the next video. Bye!
That's how we do things in Bilgewater.